Hey everyone, Matt here with the newest and possibly final Mission Impossible film. It seems that Tom Cruise is everywhere when you go online or when you turn on your televisions, and he rightfully should be. The man has been entertaining us for decades. So I thought now would be the perfect opportunity to rank all of the Tom Cruise films that I have seen. And we're going to use a tier list. So I've got this list set up this way for perfect, which is 10 out of 10, 5 stars, uh, perfect movie, nothing wrong with it, classic. Then next will be pretty good, which are probably your, 7 or 8 out of 10, even a 9 out of 10 sometimes. Movies that are not quite perfect, but they're pretty damn good, and you're gonna have a good time watching it. The third tier is it's fine, which is just what it sounds like. Movies that won't set the world on fire. You probably won't remember them after it's over, but it's there. It exists. Then we have nah, like nah, that ain't for me. These are just bad movies. These are probably your 4 or 5 out of 10 type deal, 3 star movies. And then Make It Stop. Make It Stop is where we put the ones that you just can't get through or are just god awful terrible. There's not many in Mr. Cruise's filmography that I think would be ranked in this tier, but we're going to find out. Now, again, I'm just doing the movies that I have seen personally, so not every single one of Tom Cruise's films are going to be in this, but most of them are because I believe, seen most. We should have about 39 films in here to rank. So we are going to start with, looks like we're going to start with The Mummy. Um, this one's going to be easy. We're going to put that and Make It Stop. It's, it was a misguided attempt to kickstart a cinematic universe, um, which had potential, but honestly, no. Um, it just sunk under the weight of its own ambition. It's funny. I said that we weren't going to have many make it stops, but two back to back. Lions for Lambs, the Robert Redford, Meryl Streep, Tom Cruise film. Got to put that right in there too with Make It Stop. It was preachy and it was just a very dull political drama that wastes its A-list cast. Cruise isn't even in it that much. I don't, from what I remember, I've only seen it when it was new, so it's been 20 years or something since I watched it. Now, Edge of Tomorrow, this one is actually going to be our first perfect. This is smart, it's thrilling, it's endlessly rewatchable. Um, Live, Die, Repeat. Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt are perfection, top notch here. Next, we've got The Outsiders. I'm going to put The Outsiders at pretty good. I had just seen this for the first time a few years ago when I did a Patrick Swayze binge and kind of watched all of Swayze's filmography. And I was impressed with the cast, first of all. I didn't even realize half the people that are in this were in it. Tom Cruise, of course, is in it. Very, not doesn't have a large part, but a very, very young Tom Cruise, one of his first roles. Then, of course, you got Swayze and Ralph Macchio and Matt Dillon and a ton of them. So for Mission Impossible 3, I know a lot of people online hate this for some reason, but to me, this is where the franchise really started to pick up. You had the original that we'll get to here shortly. It's a classic. Then you had the second movie, which tanked as far as story, and it seemed like it killed whatever hopes they had of a franchise. To me, Mission Impossible 3 brought it back from the dead. I know a lot of people do not like this movie. I think it's pretty good. It introduced J.J. Abrams to the series. It added emotional stakes with Ethan Hunt having a wife. And let's not forget to mention Philip Seymour Hoffman, menacing, terrifying, hands down the Mission Impossible series best villain. Um, Mission Impossible 3 for me, pretty good. One that's just kind of exists in my world is American Made. I remember American Made came out and it looked intriguing. I wanted to like it. I wanted to like it a lot, but it just felt like a letdown. So for me, American Made goes in the nah category. The Color of Money, we're going to put that also in the pretty good category. It's slick and entertaining. It's a sequel to The Hustler, of course, and Cruise holds his own against Paul Newman. It's definitely a sequel worth checking out. It looks like we got Vanilla Sky up next, and that's going to go right into the nah. Or yeah, there you go. Um, it's not terrible, but it's ambitious but messy. Um, it has this like uneven blend of romance and mystery and sci-fi. It's another one of those things that you want to like, but nah. For Cocktail, I know I'm going to upset some people with this. It's got a little bit of a cult following. Make it stop. Cocktail, it's fun to laugh at, not with. It's basically one long cheesy music video. For The Last Samurai, this was a little tougher. I have some problems with this movie. I feel like Tom Cruise is a little miscast. Uh, you know, it's leans a bit heavy on some tropes, but uh, it's epic. It's a beautiful cinematography. Overall, I really enjoy the film. So with Last Samurai, I think I'm going to put this in the pretty good category. Uh, Again, I feel like you could have put anyone in that Tom Cruise role and it would have worked just the same. For our second Mission Impossible film of the list, we've got Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. That's also going to go in pretty good. The Burj Khalifa sequence alone makes this a standout. It elevated the franchise to new heights, where I said three kind of brought it back to life. Well, four just picked it up and they ran with it. They've never looked back since. Austin Powers Gold member. This is going to be, it's fine. I am a huge Austin Powers fan. I love, love, love the original. I quote it almost daily. But for Gold member, I know you're probably thinking, if you haven't seen it, what is Tom Cruise doing in Austin Powers Gold member? Well, Cruise makes a cameo as Austin Powers in a fake movie trailer. It's brief, but it's hilarious. If you're not an Austin Powers person, um, I encourage you to look it up online or, just watch the opening 5 minutes of the movie. Definitely worth seeing Tom Cruise as Austin Powers. For Interview with the Vampire, Tom Cruise kind of defies expectations as the flamboyant and sinister Lestat. It's gothic. It's Brad Pitt. It's Kirsten Dunst. This is pretty good. This is one that has grown on me over the years. At first, I was not a fan of this movie. It just something never clicked. I watched it, I guess, a couple years ago at this point, and I rewatched it, I should say, a couple years ago at this point, and it clicked a little better. It's still not like a perfect movie for me. I know some people love this movie. I enjoy it now, so it's going in the pretty good section. What's not going in the pretty good section is Mission Impossible 2, because we need to put that in nah. It's not the worst movie ever made, but it is the worst Mission Impossible movie in my opinion. It's over the top, it's drenched in slow motion, that John Woo thing that he does. Um, the weakest of the series. Valkyrie was an interesting one. Valkyrie, it was a World War II thriller. Cruise's casting, again, kind of feels slightly off for a German officer, but the movie itself was pretty good. So we're going to put Valkyrie up in pretty good. Rock of Ages, when Tom Cruise isn't doing Mission Impossible or action movies, he seems to like take chances with these different roles. Rock of Ages was one of those. It's a musical. I remember at the time I enjoyed Rock of Ages when it came out in the theaters, but really upon rewatch, I mean, Cruise is entertaining, but the movie itself is awkward, it's cringy, it's kind of messy. So we're just going to put this in Make It Stop. Also in Make It Stop, Jack Reacher Never Go Back, which I don't know why this is listed before the original Jack Reacher, but we're gonna put that in Make It Stop as well. It's a forgettable sequel, and it lacks the intrigue that the first film had. Whereas the first Jack Reacher is pretty good. I know there's been a lot of criticism with Tom Cruise and his size and playing the Reacher character. Obviously, the Amazon Prime show has done it much better. But before that, Tom Cruise took a stab at it. And I really enjoyed the first Jack Reacher movie. I thought it was well done and I was entertained by it. The sequel, not so much. The original, yeah, I've seen that a few times. It's the one that I can occasionally go back to and have fun. And is visually dazzling. It's a fantasy film. It's a bit thin on the story, but Cruise is extremely young. Again, one of his earliest roles. His energy kind of carries it. Overall, as far as a film, it's fine. It's not going to set the world on fire. You're not going to hate it. You may not love it, but some people do love it. A lot of people do. Also, in the It's Fine category, we're going to put Risky Business up here. I mean, it's iconic for the underwear dance, but the rest of the film doesn't live up to the hype. In fact, the rest of the film is kind of forgettable, other than the underwear scene. So, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. Uh, we are going to have a review coming out on this channel here, hopefully soon, with myself and Dan. So I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds with this. This is the last Mission Impossible film, supposedly. I'm going to put it in It's Fine. I'm going to hold my reasons for that for the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning review that we're doing, Dan and I. But for now, it's fine. I remember going to see Oblivion in the theater, and I was really impressed. It's visually stunning. It's a science fiction film. It's intriguing. There's mystery. The story doesn't fully stick the landing, but overall, I'm gonna put Oblivion in pretty good. Also in pretty good, Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. There you go. War of the Worlds is, apocalyptic thriller, sci-fi, aliens, young Dakota Fanning. Cruise, gets to do character work, gets to do action hero work. It's a little bit of a different role for him, all the while being kind of the same role that you're used to seeing him do. War of the Worlds is definitely one to check out if you haven't seen it. Also, pretty good. The original Mission Impossible. This is the one that started it all. How could we not think that this movie is pretty good? It's got everything and is arguably sometimes called the series' best film. I don't personally believe that, but we will get to what I think is the series' best film here soon. Top Gun, what a classic. Top Gun, without a doubt, is the movie that made Tom Cruise a household name. It's fun, it's testosterone fueled, there's more style than substance. So I'm gonna go, it's fine. It's not the best movie or even the best 80s movie you'll ever see, but without Top Gun, I don't know that Tom Cruise is the star that he is today. Night and Day is another one it's fine. I wanted it to be better, but it's lighthearted action comedy. It's enjoyable, but ultimately forgettable. I've watched it one time when it was new and couldn't tell you a single thing about what it was about. I just remember thinking, and that's kind of what It's Fine means. What's better than It's Fine is Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire is a perfect film. If we can get it up there, there it is. Uh, Show me the money. Cruise nails the perfect mix of charm and vulnerability. It's a sports dramedy. It's heartfelt. Jerry Maguire, one of the better Tom Cruise performances. But speaking of one of the better Tom Cruise performances, A Few Good Men, also a perfect film. See, now we're starting to get to the nitty-gritty of this, and we got some perfect ones for me. You Can't Handle the Truth. Cruise goes toe-to-toe with Jack Nicholson. I love courtroom movies. This is a courtroom classic. It's packed with iconic moments and iconic quotes. Tropic Thunder, pretty good. Cruz, he's unrecognizable as Les Grossman. They're talking about bringing the character back even now to this day. Uh, he steals every scene that he's in. If you haven't seen Tropic Thunder, do yourself a favor. Eyes Wide Shut was Stanley Kubrick's final film. It's mysterious, it's surreal. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, of course, were married at the time. Cruise, I think his performance here is extremely underrated. The film is starting to, I think I've seen online, the film is starting to get some love that it deserves. I'm going to put it up here with pretty good. I think it's definitely one of the better Cruise films. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is also going in. It's pretty good. It's another strong entry in the Mission Impossible franchise. It stands out with action sequences, and plus Rebecca Ferguson is in it. She makes her debut in the franchise. Alec Baldwin, who I'm a fan of, makes his debut in the franchise. This is really kind of sort of a quote unquote greatest hits of Mission Impossible. It's Tom Cruise doing all the things, jumping off all the things. Rain Man, to me, Rain Man is one of Cruise's. I'd say there's three Tom Cruise performances that are his best performances, his top three best performances. Rain Man is one of them. This is going in perfect for me. Um, Tom Cruise should have won an Oscar, in my opinion. Uh, he and Dustin Hoffman deliver such powerhouse performances. It's emotional. It's a road trip classic. I love road trip movies. I even made one once. Uh, Rain Man is one of my favorites. Another one of my favorites, Collateral. I was saying there's three performances that I think are his best. Collateral is the other one. Um, he kind of goes against type. He's playing the cold-blooded hitman villain. Yeah, it's everything you want a villain Tom Cruise to be. It's moody. It's a thriller, and also Jamie Foxx is fantastic. I love Collateral. I just revisited it probably a few months ago, and it still holds up. It's still intense, and Tom Cruise is still chilling and great. Minority Report, another Spielberg Tom Cruise collab. It's visually stunning. It's thought-provoking. Um, Spielberg and Cruise definitely make a great team. I'm also putting this in perfect. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, which was the film before the most recent film. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this more than the most recent film. It's more the same thrills the franchise is known for, but it still manages to impress with high stakes and action. That, it's just wild Tom Cruise doing his stuff. I'm going to put that in pretty good next to Rogue Nation. Top Gun Maverick, talk about a rare sequel that surpasses the original. This is going in perfect as well. Um, it blends nostalgia and it's breathtaking action. It's a perfect film. Plus the Val Kilmer scene. It was sad then when we watched it, and now it's even more sad that now that we've lost Val. So rest in peace, Val Kilmer. The last of the three that I said I think are Tom Cruise's best performances with Rain Man and Collateral is Magnolia. That's going to be an automatic perfect for me as well. Cruise gives one of his most daring performances. It's raw. Paul Thomas Anderson, I call it a masterpiece. The only Mission Impossible film that's going to hit the perfect in this list is Mission Impossible Fallout. It is by far the best of the franchise. It's jaw-dropping. The stunts, the action, the tension, the bathroom scene with Henry Cavill. Um, Mission Impossible Fallout is Mission Impossible at its best. Which leaves us with Far and Away. I watched this in school, at high school, for something. I'm not sure why they made us watch this movie. This was really just it felt like a reason to put Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman in another movie together after Days of Thunder, which I do realize is not on this list. I have not fully seen Days of Thunder all the way through, so I did not want to include it. Um, Far and Away, it's earnest, but it's overly long. It's god awfully long, and it's the historical. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. So I'm gonna go nah. I didn't think it was as bad as some of the other ones in Make It Stop, but it's definitely not a great film for me. So that wraps up my ranking. There you have it. There's the tier list for Tom Cruise films that I have personally watched. Just a quick, brief recap. In Perfect, we have Edge of Tomorrow, Jerry Maguire, A Few Good Men, Rain Man, Collateral, Minority Report, Top Gun Maverick, Magnolia, and Mission Impossible Fallout. In the pretty good tier, we have The Outsiders, Mission Impossible 3, The Color of Money, The Last Samurai, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, Interview with the Vampire, Valkyrie, Jack Reacher, Oblivion, War of the Worlds, Mission Impossible, the original, Tropic Thunder, Eyes Wide Shut, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. In the It's Fine tier, we have Austin Powers Gold Member, Legend, Risky Business, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, Top Gun, and Night and Day. In Na, I put American Made, Valkyrie, Mission Impossible 2, and Far and Away. And in Make It Stop, I have The Mummy, Lions for Lambs, Cocktail, Rock of Ages, and Jack Reacher Never Go Back. With that said, thank you so much for tuning in. What is your Tom Cruise ranking list like? Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. If you disagree with me or if you do agree, let me know. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You never know when we're going live on this channel with new movie reviews. I'm probably going to try to start doing more of these lists. I kind of like the tier list thing. So we'll see what I can come up with. It seems like everybody's doing them now, so I'm not original at all. But I'm going to see what I can come up with for more rankings, more lists, and things like that. So this has been fun. Thank you so much, and we will catch you on the next one. Love one another.